And then then they came back at me again, and then even my manager was twisting my arm. And I was
Come on, I want a piece of this, Macaulay.
Number 20. Ashley Tisdale as Elena Gilbert, The Vampire Diaries. Nina Dobrev takes immense pride in her defining role as the main protagonist of The Vampire Diaries. In an interview with E! News, she revealed that several actors had tried to land roles in the show. Quote, half of Hollywood in her own words.
Well, how do you know she's not still out there pretending to be you?
I don't, but I could sit here and be tortured by them not knowing, or I could get these prizes to the ring toss.
However, she was confident that she, quote, did something right, even though her initial audition didn't leave much of an impression. It was after she sent in a self-tape that Dobrev got the part.
Damon's right. Isn't he? It won't end well for her.
No, I'm gonna make sure that he's wrong.
Now, word on the Tinseltown street is that the role was offered to Ashley Tisdale of High School Musical fame. However, she allegedly turned it down and chose to join the cast of another CW project, Hellcats.
I'm sorry, did you just call me a groupie?
Oh, nothing personal against you.
It doesn't get more personal than calling someone a groupie.
The cheerleading drama only had one season, whereas The Vampire Diaries went on for 8. Number 19. Macaulay Culkin as Leonard Hofstadter, The Big Bang Theory. It is hard to imagine anyone other than the talented Johnny Galecki playing Sheldon Cooper's resident BFF.
How could I be mad? You actually risked your life because you care about me.
However, the role almost went to Home Alone icon Macaulay Culkin, who was approached thrice about it. Chuck Lorre, who co-created the series, was particularly taken by what he called the actor's, quote, ethereal quality. However, Culkin rejected the offer each time. During an appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, the former child star shared that he wasn't impressed with the pitch.
And I said, no. I said, no, because it was kind of the way the pitch was kind of just all right, these two, astrophysicist nerds, and then a pretty girl lives with them, yoinks!
Although he admitted that he could have been rolling in dough if he had taken the offer, he doesn't regret letting it go.
Listen, I'd have hundreds of millions of dollars right now if I did that gig. At the same time, I'd be bashing my head against the wall.
Number 18. Lisa Edelstein as Carrie Bradshaw, Sex and the City. No one could have brought the New York Star columnist to life with more verve than Sarah Jessica Parker.
What can I say? Sometimes a girl needs a half.
However, we do see the vision of Lisa Edelstein playing her in an alternate universe. The house star was all set to portray Carrie in Sex and the City, though she wouldn't be the only actress reportedly this close to the iconic part, as we'll see later on. She had supposedly signed a contract and was almost booked.
And I'm going to violate patient privacy laws just to keep you happy?
You keep me happy, I return the favor. Think of it as tat for tit.
When we're at work, we need to focus on our work thoughts.
However, SJP was also in the running for the role, and after she said yes, Lisa was unfortunately dropped. The experience was difficult for Edelstein, who avoided watching the series because it was, quote, too painful.
Well played.
Number 17. Jensen Ackles as Clark Kent, Smallville. If the actor who played the unforgettable Dean Winchester also brought the Man of Steel's origin story to TV, he'd simply be too overpowered.
So then why am I still breathing? I'm sitting here with you. What do you want?
Jensen Ackles is not only an excellent actor, but is also known for his otherworldly good looks. So when the showrunners of Smallville were looking to cast Clark Kent, Ackles was one of their top 2 choices. Tom Welling, who eventually got the role and nailed it, was even intimidated by Jensen during the testing stage.
And I walk in and there's this wonderfully handsome guy who I'm like, I think this guy's a real actor. It was Jensen.
However, the supernatural star was not disappointed about not getting the part. In fact, he even commended the production team for making the, quote, right choice. Ackles later played Jason Teague in the 4th season of the show.
Well, actually, I'm not on the team. I was hoping I could try out.
You look big enough, sure.
Number 16. Matthew McConaughey as Joel Miller, The Last of Us. The internet's daddy Pedro Pascal played one of the most heartwarming roles in modern television as Ellie's father figure in The Last of Us.
Are you okay?
What is wrong with you?
However, 2 other exceptional actors were also up for the part of Joel Miller. First, it went to Matthew McConaughey. The show's co-creator Craig Mazin was in talks with the actor. However, the conversation didn't go far before the Interstellar star turned it down.
It's like we've forgotten who we are now.
According to reports, Mahershala Ali was also considered. However, the stars aligned when Pedro became available to take on the role of Joel, and the rest, as they say, is TV history.
Are you enjoying all this sudden attention?
Yeah.
Number 15, Rumor Willis as Serena Vanderwoodson, Gossip Girl. It was the battle of the Nepo babies for this role. Actor Ernie Lively and talent agent Elaine Lively's daughter Blake Lively ultimately played the It Girl of Manhattan.
So, when's the party?
However, the CW reportedly had Bruce Willis and Demi Moore's daughter Rumor Willis in mind for the part. David Rappaport, who was the casting director for Gossip Girl, remarked that the suggestion of Rumor as Serena was, quote, based on protecting the investment of a television show. Rumor also admitted that her audition was, quote, awful.
So I just thought, that won't work for me.
However, Rappaport always saw Blake as the blonde socialite, even though Katie Cassidy also tested for the role.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
Great? No, it's awful.
Number 14, Craig T. Nelson as Jay Pritchett, Modern Family. Actor Ed O'Neill's turn as the patriarch of the Pritchett family in the ABC sitcom is legendary to say the least.
I'm sorry, but who made Father's Day the dirty stepchild of holidays?
However, he had some competition at the casting stage. Ed was reportedly neck and neck with Emmy-winning Coach star Craig T. Nelson. At one point, a studio executive is said to have tossed a coin to make the final choice, and luck favored Nelson.
And I can write prescriptions now. I'm a doctor.
However, he apparently lost the role because of his reputation as a so-called, quote, difficult actor and his unrealistic salary demands. Meanwhile, O'Neill was known for his pleasant personality. So, showrunners Christopher Lloyd and Stephen Levitan brought him on board as Jay, giving us one of the most memorable TV characters ever.
Is this how you wanted to spend your afternoon?
No, I hate this. Man, I had a whole day planned.
Number 13, Lisa Kudrow as Roz Doyle, Frasier. She won hearts all over the world as Phoebe Buffay in Friends.
Fun! God, I love how sexy I am.
However, before that, Lisa Kudrow faced a career setback she described as, quote, devastating. She had booked the part of Roz Doyle in Frasier, but before she could step into the role, she was removed from the show.
Next to this baby, she'll light up like a bug zapper. Of all my friends in Wisconsin, this girl's the last one I thought would beat me to the altar.
The director of the pilot episode, James Burrows, simply told her, quote, this isn't working. What's even more heartbreaking is that Kudrow kept trying to figure out how she could get it right. After being dropped, she simply accepted that the job was always meant to go to Perry Gilpin, as she revealed on the Smartless podcast.
I went to the network with Perry Gilpin.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason...
Who got the part?
Yes. And so I think they were just correcting a mistake.
Got it.
Because Perry should have always been Roz.
This rejection was the reason Lisa had to audition for Friends, and the show ultimately won her an Emmy. Number 12, Bob Odenkirk as Michael Scott, The Office. The Better Call Saul actor has reportedly crossed professional paths with Steve Carell numerous times in his career. According to Odenkirk, they've been up for the same roles several times, and he lost many of them to the beautiful boy star.
I know how this looks. I'm down to my last dime, and suddenly I'm paying for broken legs, but...
Speaking on the Office Ladies podcast, Bob shared that he believes he's, quote, oddly earnest, which makes him better at dramatic roles than comedic ones. So, although he, quote, really wanted the part, according to media exec Kevin Riley, his version of Michael Scott was, quote, darker.
You want cash? I don't. Why are you asking me?
Nevertheless, The Office fans were treated to an Odenkirk cameo in the 9th season, where he plays the guitar like he did during his audition with Jenna Fisher.
Oh, wait, can I say something? Can you let them go? Just let them go. Are you stupid? They don't deserve to die. I put them up to it.
Number 11, Michael Keaton as Jack Shephard, Lost. ABC's award-winning sci-fi thriller is one of the greatest of all time. Matthew Fox delivers an inimitable performance as the show's protagonist, Dr. Jack Shephard.
The sun comes up in 3 hours, and we're all going to be here to see that happen. I promise.
Originally, though, he read for the role of James Ford, aka Sawyer. Meanwhile, Lost co-creator J.J. Abrams was trying to get Michael Keaton to play Jack, but only for the pilot. The Batman star liked the idea of participating as he just had to film one episode.
Lights out! Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
However, the initial plan of killing Jack in that episode was changed, and he was turned into a more prominent character. Unfortunately, this did not suit Keaton, who reportedly wanted to spend more time with his family. So, the role landed in Fox's hands.
And the numbers? What? The numbers are bad. That's what you were yelling right when I tackled you.
Number 10, Hank Azaria as Joey Tribbiani, Friends.
Yeah, like you could find something as sophisticated as this.
It's a little hard to imagine anyone other than Matt LeBlanc playing Joey, the show's lovable goofball with a penchant for women and sandwiches. However, future Friends alumni Hank Azaria tried desperately to land the part.
Increased job satisfaction and family togetherness are poison for a purveyor of mind-numbing intoxicants like myself.
The longtime Simpsons voice actor once admitted that the role of Joey Tribbiani was, quote, the only job I ever auditioned for twice. In regard to LeBlanc's season 1 performance, Azaria went on to say, quote, I could have been funnier than him. Azaria eventually changed his opinion, thank God, and went on to appear in 5 episodes of the iconic sitcom as David, a physicist that Phoebe falls for.
Were you planning on kissing me ever?
That's definitely a valid question. And the answer would be yes.
Number 9, Katherine Heigl as Jen Lindley, Dawson's Creek.
Here goes. I'm pregnant.
Katherine Heigl, known for her work in the stoner comedy Knocked Up, as well as for her time on Grey's Anatomy, nearly landed a role on another super successful TV show years earlier. The role in question was that of Jen Lindley on Dawson's Creek, one that ultimately went to future Academy Award nominee Michelle Williams.
Hey guys.
Jen.
According to the show's creator, Kevin Williamson, he was very impressed with Heigl, saying, quote, she gave a great audition. I remember we were all sort of like, wow, she's good. Despite this glowing review, he decided to go with Williams, and the rest is history.
So come on, live it up. Go out, have a good time, meet some new people.
Number 8, Thomas Jane as Don Draper, Mad Men.
I'm living like there's no tomorrow, because there isn't one.
Mad Men would not be Mad Men without Jon Hamm. Plain and simple. His nuanced performance as 60s ad exec Don Draper won him 2 Golden Globes, and cemented his legacy as one of the small screen's all-time greats. And yet the role was almost played by Thomas Jane. The Punisher star actually turned down the role, which begs the question, what was he thinking? This was not the only time Jane brushed shoulders with an iconic role only to keep on walking, as he was Frank Darabont's first choice to play Rick Grimes on The Walking Dead. But when HBO passed on the show, Jane went elsewhere.
It's open! We gotta do this now!
Number 7, Connie Britton as Olivia Pope, Scandal.
This is where it's all gonna happen. It's all gonna happen right here.
Connie Britton, best known for playing Tammy Taylor on Friday Night Lights, has appeared in dozens of films and TV shows over the years, and she came pretty close to adding Scandal to that list back in 2012. She was one of ABC's first choices for the role of Olivia Pope, which was an issue for creator Shonda Rhimes, who'd written the part with a black woman in mind. The network ultimately relented, and Kerry Washington was cast as Pope, making her the first black woman to land a leading role in a television drama in over 30 years.
Excuse me?
Number 6, Katie Holmes as Buffy Summers, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
That was just another day on the job. Care to step up for some overtime?
Buffy the Vampire Slayer could have looked a whole lot different had a couple of well-known actors said yes instead of no. Katie Holmes was offered the role of Buffy Summers, and Ryan Reynolds was approached to play her friend Xander. Both actors wound up passing, opening the door for Sarah Michelle Gellar and Nicholas Brendon respectively. Seeing as how Holmes and Reynolds both went on to have successful careers in the entertainment industry, we doubt they regret their decision. As for Gellar and Brendon, well, one could argue that Buffy and Xander remain their best-known roles.
Boy, you really thought this through.
Number 5, Dana Delany as Carrie Bradshaw, Sex and the City.
I don't want to have to tell you this, but I actually saw him give someone a thumbs up.
Sex and the City made waves for its groundbreaking subject matter and plethora of unique characters. At the forefront was protagonist Carrie Bradshaw, who was played to perfection by Sarah Jessica Parker. However, Dana Delany was another one of the initial actresses to be reportedly offered first crack at the role. So why did Delany pass on the show that would later become a cultural phenomenon? Sex. It was because of the sex. In an interview with the Daily Mail, she said, quote, I didn't want to be in a show about sex. The part went to Sarah Jessica Parker, and it made her into a worldwide star. But I've got no regrets. Fair enough.
I had just done so many movies about sex. I said to him, I can't do another one. I can't.
Number 4, Matthew Broderick as Walter White, Breaking Bad.
My name is Walter Hartwell White. I live at 308
Negra Arroyo Lane, Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Now, this one's surprising to say the least. We have a hard time picturing Matthew Broderick as Walter White telling his wife, "I am the one who knocks," with any sort of believability.
I am the one who knocks.
And yet, it almost came to fruition. Broderick and John Cusack were AMC's first choices for the role of the cancer-suffering chemistry teacher who turns to a life of crime in order to support his family. They were hesitant to go with Bryan Cranston, showrunner Vince Gilligan's initial choice. But after Gilligan showed them an episode of The X-Files in which Cranston played a terminally ill anti-Semite, they gave in. It's truly scary to think what might have been.
You let that sink in.
Number 3, Rob Lowe as Derek Shepherd, Grey's Anatomy.
I'm gonna give you an incentive. Whoever finds the answer rides with me.
Unlike our previous entry, this one is considerably less far-fetched. Rob Lowe was the first actor up for the part of Derek Shepherd, also known as McDreamy, a part that ultimately went to Patrick Dempsey. According to Lowe, he, quote, agreed to meet with the people making Grey's Anatomy, and he read the script, feeling that the writing was, quote, crisp, real, and very entertaining. In the end, Lowe passed in order to play, get this, another doctor. That's right, folks. Lowe accepted the role of Dr. Billy Grant on the short-lived CBS series Dr. Vegas. By contrast, Grey's Anatomy is still going strong more than 2 decades later.
That's all I know.
Number 2, Matt LeBlanc as Phil Dunphy, Modern Family. Could you honestly picture anyone other than Ty Burrell playing Phil Dunphy? The role has earned him 2 Primetime Emmy Awards for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series, and we feel confident saying that Modern Family would not be the same without him. Of course, we wouldn't be discussing Burrell or his most iconic character if another well-known actor hadn't almost landed the part before him. Matt LeBlanc was offered the part of Dunphy, but turned it down.
Didn't I tell you? Always showing off.
He said he felt the script was great, but that he would, quote, be doing the project an injustice if he accepted the role. Now that is the kind of maturity that only comes from a seasoned vet.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
You could blow off the convention. We could stay here for a romantic few days, but never tell the kids because we just made them go home.
Yes! That is the first time you've ever answered that question right.
Not today!
Number 1, Chris Rock as George Costanza, Seinfeld.
Told me to go to hell, and I took the bus home.
Yes, you heard that correctly. Actor and comedian Chris Rock was offered the role of George Costanza, Jerry's neurotic, socially awkward best friend, but ultimately turned it down.
I'm out, baby! I'm out!
According to casting director Mark Hirschfeld, quote, we saw every actor we could possibly see in Los Angeles in the hunt to find the perfect George. Danny DeVito and Nathan Lane were also considered before Seinfeld and Larry David settled on Jason Alexander. This was not the only character to have almost been played by someone else, as Elaine was almost played by none other than Rosie O'Donnell. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not at all.
Do you think any of these alternate casting choices would have been better than the original? Tell us your thoughts in the comments.
Okay, I'm telling you right now. If you're kidding around, I'm not going to be able to be a friend anymore.